Watercolor Wizards, Hajra here. Today I'll be reviewing some new color wheel stencils that I found, and also demoing all my Grisaille gray colors using one of them. Art blogs, Q&A, sketches, deconstructed paintings, video notes, and art gifts are all at a single convenient and affordable tier for patrons on Patreon. So since I do value underpaintings often, I wanted to lay out all my grays that I would ever choose for Grisaille. It would be convenient to see them all in one place. In order to do this, I'll be using some color wheel stencils I bought recently. I don't own any other stencils apart from the little vignette, square, and rectangle stencils I shared in my mini landscapes demo or my circle and ellipse artist templates. If you freehand draw like me, then one of the bonuses is that you can try to sketch and paint pretty much anything with just your pencil on paper, instead of putting out money or space for stamps or stencils. I'm a minimalist and loads of bulky supplies stress me out since they take up so much space. So rather than being constraining, it's liberating for me to be dependent on fewer art supplies. Making color wheels or color swatches is a common thing for me to test schemes and color mixes for paintings. Make sure you check out my color wheel and color scheme videos and posts. So when I found these fantastically reusable color wheel stencils from a self-employed crafter on Etsy, I had to snap them up. I'm surprised it was the only color wheel stencil set I could find anywhere, and I have not seen anyone else on YouTube using it. The 3 stencil set is super affordable, and it is artistically geared, practical, and useful. So the first wheel gives 12 outside slots for 3 primaries, 3 secondaries, and 6 tertiary colors along the outside circumference, and then interior slots for 6 neutrals in the center. The second wheel also has 12 circumference slots for the same 3 primaries, 3 secondaries, and 6 tertiary colors, but inside it provides slots for 36 neutrals or pastel tints. So this is just ideal. You have 2 wheels, both with 12 color circumferences, and one with 6 neutral slots and the other with 36 neutral slots, depending on how many tones or tints you might want to mix for a particular scheme. The size of the stencils is nice, not gargantuan for swatching or storage, just tidy, convenient 6-inch or smaller stencils with a very small footprint, and these should make color scheme mapping faster and prettier. The third stencil is a square grid usable for color swatches. This will be really useful for cross-comparative chart mixes of colors as well as for color schemes that don't have to be done on a wheel, like achromatic, monochromatic, analogous, complements, hue groups, or even random color swatches. The stencils are very small and lightweight, which I like, but if they were thicker, they'd presumably be more durable and also not scoot around as I try to use them. I actually had to tape down all of them to keep them from scooting around, but pushing my pencil against them as I stencil the shapes still caused lifting of the interior areas. I also got another mandala design stencil that I thought would look good used as a color wheel, and as a happy surprise, my order came with another small mandala design for free that will also make a fun decorative color wheel. So my only criticism of these stencils is that they seem rather flimsy. When compared to my circle and ellipse stencils, they are less than half the thickness, and when compared to my even thicker square, rectangle, and vignette stencils, they are way, way thinner. My older, thicker stencils definitely don't have interior areas lifting while stenciling, or the whole stencil scooting around and needing taping like these super thin color wheel ones do. If the seller made them in the future out of something noticeably thicker, I'd definitely get those to replace these once their stenciling days are over, because I really, really love how complete the color wheel designs are. So now I'll be swatching all my Grisaille colors using the grid stencil since I don't need a wheel layout for that. I'll include all my true grays as well as any low intensity blues and also blacks, basically all my cool neutrals, which will give me useful Grisaille colors. So it looks like I swatched 20 colors suitable for Grisaille, which is more than I thought I had. Actually, it's going to be 19 and I'll explain why. So first, I did end up omitting indigo from the aqua sticks or bricks because it was too bright to be a neutral. Likewise, the dark blue indigo by Schmincke is also a bit too bright for a gray shadow color. Though I included it here, I may exclude it as a Grisaille color in the future, so that'll bring me down to 19 colors. I'm putting these down all mid-value so I can see the color identity. No point in taking them to their darkest, as I wouldn't be able to see the differences between them much. With all the colors here, I can see which colors are bluer and cooler, which have a touch of warmth, and which are down the middle neutral. So which ones are my coolest and bluest colors? Remember, I'm not going to include my Schmincke dark blue indigo as a Grisaille color in the future. Then my coolest bluest remaining would be Schmincke indigo, then Schmincke Payne's gray bluish, then Daniel Smith Sodalite, Inktense Payne's Gray, then Sennelier Payne's Gray as the least blue of the bluish neutrals. Then I can identify my warmest neutrals. The obvious first place would go to Daniel Smith Moonglow, a lovely shadow color with a violet identity. Then I can see in person, though it's hard to see in the video, that my Inktense Indian ink has just a teeny touch of warmth compared to the other blacks and grays around it. For down the middle temperature neutrals, there are many ivory blacks here that fit that category. The blackest black would be the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India ink. After that, the Schmincke and Snellier ivory blacks are pretty close in second place. Remember, I didn't use them full strength here. The watercolor pencil and watercolor crayons also have ivory blacks that are dark and mid-neutral, though they are a bit more matte and finished than the slightly glossy watercolor pan paints. The Inktense colors are also all more matte and finished, with the Chinese ink and ink black the most mid-neutral. The Inktense charcoal gray is lighter compared to the darker Inktense neutral gray. I don't see much of a difference between them in temperature, though they both seem a touch cooler than any of the other black colors. Lastly, the watercolor pencil Payne's Gray and Aqua Stick Dark Gray are pretty similar, both also a touch cooler than the pure blacks and both mid-grays with a matte finish. And I could also put other labels and comparisons here, like the Inktense are permanent and waterproof once you use them. Same thing for the Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink. And I can say the Aqua Sticks and Aqua Bricks are gouache and will lift and are opaque, while my Schmincke, Snellier, and Daniel Smith colors are conventional watercolors that are staining. And I can go even further and label granulation, like for the Soda Light and Moon Glow. And where that information stops is going to be relevant to you, because it's all about what you're using your paints for and what kind of painter you are personally. And while it takes a lot of time to say all that and some concentration to listen to what it all means, it's so much faster and easier to see all that comparative info at a glance when you see all these neutrals together in one grid image. That's why I think color wheels and charts are so useful. Another time it would be useful to put together swatches of all my warm neutrals on a separate grid as well, all my earth colors of low intensity yellows, reds, and browns. That would give me a comparative chart for all my brunette colors, which would be value underpaintings in the brown family. And that doesn't even include all the triads and tetrads and complements and everything that I've covered in other videos as color schemes that you could do on the wheels. So you can see there are many useful applications and scope for the grid and wheel stencils for color schemes and color swatches. Well, wizards, I hope you found my review of my newly acquired color wheel stencils helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my website links and Patreon page to support my art and art channel below.